Ria TV, True FM.
Okay, Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
into Truth FM 96.1.
rejoining us. Up next is Marka Davis. We're going to set the pace with the news bulletin and the foreign development. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Henson. Good evening to all. Information Minister Jeremy Pia has blasted people spreading misinformation about a plane crash at the Ravos International Airport. He said it is disheartening that some Liberians will be spreading bad news about their fellow citizens in such a way that portrays hate. Minister Pia said Royal Air Morak did not crash at the RRA. Rather, the plane landed safely but veered off the runway due to some damage to the pavement of the runway. He termed as complete lies being spread on social media that the plane crashed as a result of poor lighting at the airport. The information minister has meanwhile called on Liberians who are spreading such lies to stop misleading the public. He spoke Tuesday during the Ministry of Information regular press briefing. In a major news, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission has invited Senator Nathaniel McGill in connection to what it calls an ongoing investigation into allegations of payroll padding and acts of corruption resulting from salary payments affecting a supplementary payroll containing 720 names at the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs, which was allegedly created outside of the framework of the Civil Service Agency. Details of the allegations revealed that a supplementary payroll, which contains 728 names, was allegedly created under the instruction of Senator McGill, who was then Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. According to the LACC, the process, according to their investigation, was marred by irregularities amounting to payroll paddling, administrative malpractice, acts of corruption, among others. The LACC said, given his position as Minister of the Ministry of State at the time, it believes that Senator McGill could provide some useful information to aid its investigation. Meanwhile, the Margibi County Senator says, in light of his unwavering stance against bad governance and government's unsuccessful attempts to silence critical voices, he have received the formal communication from the LACC. He said they have requested his presence to provide information that will assist in their ongoing investigation into allegations of payroll paddling at
Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV,
into Truth FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in a barefoot manner, we'll take your plate like
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Some news summary of 12. My name is Hansen Der Represent.
Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life, that's what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life, that's what I live, you know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Roads, connecting roads and stuff.
Yeah, we are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Ria TV and listening to Truth FM 96.1.
Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV,
into Truth FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in a barefoot manner, we'll take your plate like
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Some news summary of 12. My name is Hansen Der Represent.
Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life, that's what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life, that's what I live, you know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Roads, connecting roads and stuff.
Yeah, we are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Ria TV and listening to Truth FM 96.1.
Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV,
into Truth FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in a barefoot manner, we'll take your plate like
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Some news summary of 12. My name is Hansen there represent.
Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life that what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life that what I live. You know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Roads, connecting roads in this country.
Yeah, we are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Real TV and listening to Truth FM 96.1.
Real TV, True FM.
Say Real TV, True FM.
On Real TV,
Into Truth FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrel?
The black barrel is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in a grateful manner, we'll keep your later Liberia.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Some news summary of 12. My name is Hansen there represent.
welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life that what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life that what I live. You know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Roads, connecting roads in this country.
Yeah, we are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Real TV and listening to Truth FM 96.1.
Real TV, True FM.
Say Real TV, True FM.
On Real TV,
Into Truth FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrel?
The black barrel is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in a grateful manner, we'll keep your later Liberia.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Some news summary of 12. My name is Hansen there represent.
welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life that what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life that what I live. You know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Roads, connecting roads in this country.
Yeah, we are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Real TV and listening to Truth FM 96.1.
Real TV, True FM.
Say Real TV, True FM.
On Real TV,
Into Truth FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrel?
The black barrel is to tell Joseph Bakala if you don't organize yourself in a respectful manner, we'll keep your plate level.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Some news summary at 12. My name is Hansen there represent.
welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life that what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life that what I live. You know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Roads, connecting roads in this country.
Yeah, we are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Real TV and listening to Truth FM 96.1.
Real TV, True FM.
Say Real TV, True FM.
On Real TV,
Into Truth FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrel?
The black barrel is to tell Joseph Bakala if you don't organize yourself in a respectful.
A long-last government indicts several alleged notorious drug dealers, including George Obi allies Japan. Let's bring you the voices of the newsmakers. Information Minister Jalimic Pierre has blasted people spreading misinformation about plane crash at the Rivers International Airport. He said it is disheartening that some Liberians will be spreading bad news about their fellow citizens in such a way that portrays hate. Mr. Pierre said Royal Air Morocco did not crash at the RIA, rather, the plane landed safely, but viewed off the runway due to some damage on the pavement of the runway.
Interesting place. There are some of us who just take pleasure in bad news. See, that bad news means that lives should be lost. They don't care once it is pleasing to them. We fought decades of war here, and there are some actors who stood with us. Even as airlines were coming and discontinuing, you all know Delta used to be here. Air France used to be here. As those airlines left our country, some have remained here. Brussels, Royal Air Morocco, was too firm in helping us to make international travel easier. But yet there are some people in our midst who will be happy if the airplane was to crash and people die. So you wonder, and it's not reflective of the entire country, because Liberians are good people. But then you're constrained to wonder, who are these people who would prefer to see the blood of hundreds of people spilled just to satisfy a political ego. So a Royal Air Morocco flight into Liberia landed safely. One of the critical points in your entire journey is when the plane is about to land. All of the calculations that are required got to be done perfectly. By the time that flight is landing and hitting the runway, the calculation is such that it does so very gently. If if for any reason, maybe you ought to make calculation or something, at the point of landing, the impact is different and it's so small that multiple possibilities that the flight or the plane can veer off the runway. And if we had a situation where the flight landed, the Royal Air Morale flight landed, as was explained by the airport authority, and the forceful impact of the landing led the plane off the runway, that the pilot did a good job in returning the plane to the runway without incident, and all some people could do rather than thanking God for their fellow citizens who were on board the plane was to give an indication that the plane crashed. And that the plane crash was a result of low light at the airport. What pleases you with those kind of still lies? So if there's no light at the airport in the first place, the plane will not land.
His Liberia's information minister Jalimic Pia there blasting people for spreading misinformation about a plane crash at the Rabas International Airport. One of the lead campaigners for the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia, Adama Dempster, says the international community remains committed to supporting Liberia in settling up the court. Dempster revealed during a brief of the UN Peace Building Commission Monday in New York, state parties and other civil society organizations expressed their commitment to supporting Liberia's quest for justice in implementing the World and Economic Crimes Code.
Yesterday was basically to brief the United Nations, the Peace Building Commission, and also the member states that serve as permanent mission to the United States within the Security Councils as well on the need to support Liberia's war crimes program. And out of the briefing from the government, civil society, I think the reaction from the countries, the state parties, permanent missions that attended at the NICOM meeting, they all support Liberia's quest for justice. So they asked the Peace Building Commission to rally the support of the international community to provide the necessary support for Liberia to implement its war crimes code proposal. So this activity came up, and of course, in addition to that, as part of prosecution, they also advocated in terms of support for a form of reparation for victims of the Pacific conflict. They also did recommend the issue of a Palava Hot and community-led reconciliation on crimes that may not be at the level of war crimes. So they advocated for public apologies to be offered by the president or the government so that they serve as a form of symbolic reconciliation to be able to set Liberia ahead in terms of moving forward. We can see clearly that we got the support yesterday from the United Nations. So there's a proposal for a resolution to be introduced in the General Assembly, which we're going to follow up. And a resolution now will be adopted by the Security Council if everything goes well. But the reaction yesterday, I think we're going to have a resolution coming from the United Nations that will give the government of Liberia International Committee the go ahead to set up the war and economic crimes.
Adaman Dempster is one of the lead campaigners for the World and that's for the establishment of the World and Economic Crimes Code in Liberia. He spoke to us in News Tuesday from New York, the United States. The Civil Service Agency has warned civil servants against engaging in what it calls inappropriate conduct, including insults directed at officials of government. The CSA, in a circular issued recently, highlighted the growing trend of unbecoming conduct among employees, including dishonesty, unethical practices, and disrespectful behaviors in workplaces and on social media platforms. The CSA emphasized that such actions violate Chapter 4, Section 2.1 and 2.2 of the Civil Service Standing Order and the personnel handbooks of various government entities. But Solidarity and Trust for a New Day stand, a civil society organization in Liberia, has called on President Joseph Boaga to dismiss CSA Director General Josiah Jukad for what it calls neglecting his duties and fostering an environment of lawlessness. The Commissioner General of the Liberia Revenue Authority has disclosed the collection of about 59% of this year's national budget by the LRA. James W. Jala said out of the $393 million United States, the LRA was tasked to collect as of July 31st, and they have collected about $412 million. According to him, The balance to be collected between now to December 31st is about 284 million.
The retail trade, is doing very well. We're collecting taxes from businesses. We are also doing well from the mining sector. The passports is doing well. Transport, vehicle registration, all of that, they're doing well. The public corporation, even though they're not doing as well as expected, but some of them that were not making any contributions at all are beginning to make contributions. So to date, the LRA has collected 59% of the budget for this. We just ended July. So at July 31st, we have actually collected about 59% of the budget. By July 31st, we were required to have collected 393 million in change. Okay, that was the budget. That is what we were taxed to collect up to July 31st. To date, we have collected 412 million. Yes, we overpassed by 5%. So this amount constitutes about 59% of the budget. The overall budget that we're supposed to collect this year is 696 million in change. So balance to be collected between now and the end of the year, between now and December 31st, is 284 million in change. Our internal target is we want to break away from the experiences of the past couple of years where we've always had shortfall budgetary collection. So even though we are currently, the Ministry of Finance has done a recast and it's gone to the legislature, that is based on those tax lines that are not doing very well. But we at LRA are still pushing ourselves, that we should be able to collect the remaining 284 million between now. Well, it's just the vigilance of the staff, and they have really been vigilant. I would really like to publicly acknowledge, how hard they've worked, because if you look at the challenges they're faced with, many of them don't have the tools and the resources to work with. Many of them, the harmonization policy severely affected them. And these are people who are collecting our money. Can you imagine? Somebody collecting like $50,000, $60,000 for you every week, and then you're paying him $600 a month where he was making about $1,500 before. So these are really demoralizing. However, they're still working very, very hard, and we want to laud them for that.
James W. Jala is the Commissioner General of the Liberia Revenue Authority, disclosing the collection of about 59% of this year's national budget by the LRA. Two prominent organizations in the rubber industry have alarmed over the violation of Executive Order Number 124, allegedly by members of the rubber sector actors. Speaking Tuesday at a news conference in Painesville, Bannon Brown, vice president of the Rubber Splinter Association of Liberia, said Liberia is being challenged as it relates to revenue generation. Brown said since the temporary lifting of the ban placed on the exportation of unprocessed rubber that has since elapsed, the consortium of rubber sector actors of Liberia is still exporting unprocessed rubbers illegally.
Summon you the press here today to apprise the government of Liberia and the public of the re-emergence of the exportation of unprocessed rubber sanctioned by Executive Order 124. It can be recalled the SY government of President George Weah issued Executive Order in November 2023 and was upheld by the current government of President Joseph Numa Boyka to protect the rubber industry, regulate the industry in consonance with Article 5 of the Liberian Constitution that states the Republic shall take steps by appropriate legislative actions and executive orders to eliminate the misuse of resources and other corrupt practices thereof. The exporters of unprocessed natural rubber and collaborators prevailed on government to grant them the dispensation to ship their rubber that was stocked in containers at the Freeport of Monrovia. In May, the government of Liberia granted the group a dispensation of 2 months commencing from June and July 2024. As a consequence of the goodwill of government of Liberia, it has been alleged and noticed that the exporters of unprocessed rubber, of natural rubber, will try to abuse the privilege to ship unprocessed rubber inimical, repugnant to the moratorium. Executive Order 124. Adverse effects because of the press. The resumption of the exportation of natural rubber over the last 2 weeks has reignited theft on local rubber plantations, dropped in the daily purchase of coagulated rubber by processors and threats to farmers like gas securities. Loss of production on private farm is on the increase and illicit tapping is rising. Members of the press, evasion of the collaborators in undermining the legitimate collection of holdings of rubber development fund to export rubber without value addition robs the Liberian government of revenue or employment for its citizens and causing the Liberian rubber industry not to achieve its full potential.
For his part, former Deputy House Speaker now chair of the Rubber Development Fund, Dr. Mobile expressed regret over the lifting of the ban. Dr. Mobile said the lifting of the ban is affecting the operations of bigger farmers in the country.
We are here to inform the Liberian government and on the Rubber Development Fund and our Russian Association that indeed is about time for them to take the necessary action that or those who are engaged in exporting of processed rubber. Because what have an effect on the country? Because every rubber we see end of the year is calculated that Nigeria production in the natural rubber production the country and how much Nigerian government again. We are not an island, so we are in the global platform. Like Nigeria is a member of the development or Rubber Producers country. We are members as the Rubber Plant Association member of the IRD and also the Rubber Development Fund where we are as regulators. We have come call on the Minister of Justice, Minister of Agriculture, Commerce, particularly that LRA issue any export permit anybody who are engaged in exporting of couple of processed drugs because it has a relevant effect on our farmers. And we as a country we don't get account of what is needed as an unprocessed drug. So we have come for on the government today that indeed we need to work together to support because as the farmers, if today we have a losses on our rural farm, we will not be able to pay our workers and also insecurity. Because most of our tackles, I'm afraid to be able to be in the bush or late hours so there's no theft with those are stealing in the handbag. And to be able to cause on our production, because we will hire more security and all these things, we think that it's about time for the government of Nigeria to work with us, Rubber Development Fund and Rubber Plant Association. We are on the regulatory aspect to expect the Rubber Plant to be able to work with them that indeed to stop exportation of imported rubber.
Dr. Toba Moba is the current chair of the Rubber Development Fund. Earlier, you listened to the Vice President of the Rubber Planters Association of Liberia, Barney Brown. They spoke at a news conference Tuesday in Congo Town. Well, folks, if you are just joining us, a reminder of the top developments we are carrying on today's edition of the news program News Desk. Government of Liberia rubbish misinformation of plane crash at the Rabat International Airport as Information Minister Jalimic Pia describes as lies and devilish, a portrait of hate for fellow citizens. A long-last government indicted several alleged notorious drug dealers, including George Obi alias Japan. One of the lead campaigners for World and Economic Crimes Code establishment in Liberia, Anaman Dempster, addresses the UN Peace Building Commission appeals for international support for the establishment of the code. And away from Liberia, Kenya police suspends 8 officers on suspicion of helping a suspected serial killer escape from custody, the BBC reports. Let's bring you this development. The Liberia National Tailors, Textile Garments and Workers Union Incorporated has warned individuals claiming to be leaders of the union to desist. The Union Trade Secretary General Augustine Sadnot, the Liberian journalist, noted that the Liberian thus revealed that members of the union have resolved their long-standing leadership crisis after a meeting with the Assistant Minister for Trade Union, Rufus Sedi. Sad noted that after the meeting, an acting leadership was set up that is being headed by Reece Stewart pending a convention.
The first thing I want to tell the world and our government that the Liberal National Tailor Texas Garment and Allied Workers Union is no longer an institution that is in crisis. Let that message go clear to the government and our partners in progress. 2 months ago, we have a meeting at the Ministry of Labor where all the problems in the tailor union were solved and were brought under one umbrella, that is the Liberal National Tailor Texas Garment and Allied Workers Union. As you may have heard, this government, starting from the President, His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Mabuakai Sr. and Jeremiah Bankun, their wisdom in appointing people in government with the wisdom in bringing pride and unity to the Liberian people got us to where we are today. We have a meeting with Honorable Rufus City, the Assistant Minister for Trade Union and Social Dialogue, and he categorically told us that Liberia is one country under one leadership. There is no way the Liberal National Tailor Texas Garment and Allied Workers Union can be divided. They are not going to work with us. We have to come back home, resolve our problem. We got the acting leadership and in convention. And currently we are located, as you can see, on the Gully Street in Central Monrovia. Here is our office. We have our activities. But there's one thing I want you to communicate with the government and also our partners in progress. We are the acting leadership. I think if you listen to the acting president, Honorable Rick Stevens, he told you about what is going on. There are people that are passing around in the street of Monrovia lying, claiming they are leaders of this union, and they are not. Especially, I want you to tell the world and tell our partners that the tailor union and the tailors within the 15 political subdivision resolved never to have Mr. Edison Kalon as their president, and so it's no longer the president for this union. Anyone doing business with him, you will be doing it at your own detriment. The tailor union will not recognize that transaction. The tailors and seamstresses will not work with anyone that chooses to work with Edison Kalon as our president. Honorable Rick Stevens is the acting president, and the union is open to everybody. If you have an issue that needs to be discussed for the progress of our institution, you can come to our office on Kelly Street every Monday from 11 to 2 o'clock. We have meeting to discuss the progress of the union. We have the various contacts. We have our email. You can log on to Tailors Union One War 2024@gmail.com. You can get all there, and we're trying to open various media groups so that we can get to the world. So this is what we are doing, but we were still reorganizing ourselves. That we got the email, then we have our contact numbers. Like my own, you want to get to the tailor union anytime, you can call me 0886 77 94 12, or you can call me 0775 40 72 88. Anything that has to do with the issue of the Liberian tailors and seamstresses within the 15th council, we are ready to respond to you positively what we know about.
Augustine Sarnock, the Liberian journalist, is the Secretary General of the National Tailor Texas Garment and Allied Workers Union. They're speaking with our reporter Johnson Batoma. Well, folks, that's all the time we got to be with you on today's edition of News Text. As we take leave of you, these are the top stories we have been following. Government of Liberia rubbish misinformation of plane crash at the Rabat International Airport, as Information Minister Jalimbic Pia describes as lie and devilish, a portrait of hate for fellow citizens. A long-last government indicts several alleged notorious drug dealers, including George Obi alias Japan. One of the lead campaigners for World and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia, Adam Debster, addresses the UN Peace-Building Commission appeals for international support for the establishment of the court. Away from Liberia, Kenyan police suspends 8 officers on suspicion of helping a suspected serial killer escaped from custody, the BBC reports. Thanks to our correspondents, reporters, writers, editors, those who helped in making today's presentation of the news program a success. Maka Davis read for us the news bulletin, the foreign development. Johnson Batoma ably coordinated. Mayan Tobian sat behind the camera on behalf of the production team. My name is Hansen Decker. Good evening.
Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
into True FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrel?
The black barrel is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in a respectful manner, we'll keep up later.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Some news summary at 12. My name is Hansen, the representative.
Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life that what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life that what I live. You know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Roads, connecting roads in this country.
Yeah, we are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Real TV and listening to Truth FM 96.1.
I would like to fund my account at any time, even here.
Right here, right now.
Here too!
Without moving an inch.
Here will be just perfect.
Henceforth, send money to your Orange Money account from your bank account and vice versa directly from your mobile phone. A simple and fast solution that is always available to ensure a permanent access to your Orange Money services. Anywhere, anytime, send money to your Orange Money account from your bank account from your mobile phone to cash out, to recharge, to transfer, to pay, to buy. To subscribe to this service, go to your bank branch office partner to the Orange Money service. It's all about what matters to you. Orange.